We're here at Westchase Golf Club in Tampa, Florida. I'm on the range with Shaker. This is his first golf lesson ever. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the basic fundamentals. First time he's ever held a golf club. We're going to establish a good grip, stance, posture, all that good stuff. At this point in the lesson, we're discussing the difference between the clubs in the golf bag. How we have our 3-iron, 4-iron, 5-iron, 6-iron, 7-iron, all the way up to pitching wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge, what the differences are, why we have all these different clubs in our bag. At this point I'm discussing the length of the golf club and the loft of the golf club. How the length of the golf club, the longer the club is going to generate a tick longer backswing, take a little more time for the club to get from the top of your swing back to the golf ball, generating more club head speed equals more power. The loft on the golf club, which is also a very important component, the lesser amount of the loft is going to generate a lower trajectory. The higher amount of loft, say in a pitching wedge 8-iron, is going to generate a higher trajectory and less distance. Here we're discussing now, we're working into our grip. We're talking about the initial grip for a right-handed player, holding it in the left hand, and how it's important sometimes to grip it in the air. We're looking at the grooves of the golf club when we're holding it up in front of us here. We want the grooves on the golf club to be going straight up and down with the ground in the sky, so that we know we're gripping the club square. When we place the golf club into our left hand, it's very important that we place it along where the fingers connect to our hand. And when we grip it with the left hand, feel like we're holding it more in our fingers, not as much in our hand. Gripping it too much in the palm of our hand can potentially cause a weak grip and cause more missed shots to the right, slices, fades, things like that. After we have the left hand established on the grip and we're holding it in our fingers, we're going to apply a little pressure on our right hand here between our thumb and our index finger. We're going to drop that right hand on top, getting the two upside down V's that our hands create here pointing towards our right shoulder. At this point in our lesson, I'm discussing the theory on how a golf club actually works. How in many other sports like baseball, say hockey, baseball you're trying to carry and lift the baseball up in the left or right field. Hockey we're trying to hit down and pull the puck up into the left or right side of the net. In golf, the golf club is designed with loft on it. It's designed more or less to hit down on the golf ball and trap the golf ball between the ground and the club face. So what we're discussing here is how each club has a different loft, different length, like we talked about before, and when we come down on the golf ball and trap the ball between the club face and the ground, that golf ball is going to slide up the club face, and that's what's going to generate height and loft, not as much us trying to lift the golf ball. This first swing here, this demo swing, I'm going to swing, hit a shot there, topped it. Okay, that was a good example of coming up and away from the golf ball. What's going to happen? How trying to lift the golf ball and having that swing thought can also be damaging and cause us to hit a lot of thin shots, worm burners, topped golf shots. The last shot I just hit there was an example. I had it teed up of staying down and through, giving Shaker here swing thought of hitting the tee under the golf ball. Okay, focusing on not just swinging at the golf ball, but swinging through the golf ball, letting the golf ball get in the way of the club face. These are, much better swing thoughts, totally opposite from what Shaker was thinking. Shaker's a, former baseball player, and sometimes, having a baseball background and coming into golf, it can be a little bit challenging at times because there's so many different, you could say, opposite variables. Including, when we discuss here club head speed. We're talking about how in a lot of other sports we need to swing faster and harder at that hockey puck or that baseball to hit it further. In golf we need to hit the golf ball with more of our bigger muscles, swing a little bit easier at the golf ball, think about more of timing. When I say bigger muscles, shoulders, lower body. Next here I'm talking about the grip stance, posture components. We've already discussed grip, So I'm talking about our stance. Generally, when we're just starting, we want to have our stance about shoulder width apart is a good gauge. Um, we also talked about distance from the end of the club to your body. How far should I stand? Should I stand really close? Should I stand far away from the golf ball? Good indication here is that we want to set up and we want to give ourselves about a hand's width from the end of the club to our body. Okay, so again, that's a hand's width from the end of the club to our body. And that's kind of a sure way to get ourselves set up the correct length from the golf ball each time. The golf club is different lengths when we go from club to club, so it's automatically going to set you up further or closer to the golf ball depending on which club we're using. And then ball position is really the only thing we have to worry about here. We have the same golf swing with every club. Okay, ball position that we worked on with Shaker here was we were hitting mid irons, mid to high irons. We were hitting a lot of 8, 7 irons, 9 irons. So we're really just focusing on ball position, center of the stance. 7 iron and up, we generally want to keep the ball in the center of our stance. As far as posture, we discussed having not locked legs, of course, not overly flexed legs here. We want to get into an athletic position. Have a very slight amount of knee bend, a slight bend at the waist there, and we're ready to go. We've got great posture. We want to have the swing thought that our balance is on the balls of our feet. Again, great swing thought you can have here is that we're in a perfect athletic position at address. But the number one thing is, after we get set up, after we get everything going, we take our first few swings. We want to work on getting the club down to the ball. Let the club do the work. Okay. Here during the last session of our lesson, we were setting up about 4 golf balls in a row. We were covering all the basic fundamentals again. Just kept reinforcing the basic fundamentals: grip, stance, posture. Good athletic position at address. We did discuss initial takeaway and finish. Finish was very important, letting that right foot pivot up when we came through the golf ball. We actually got ahead of ourselves a little bit in this lesson. We got working on a lot of good stuff. Shaker did an incredible job, has a natural athletic ability, and got right into a backswing finish. Was hitting 7 irons between 140 to 150 yards, which is just incredible for his first time out. And we're going to be getting geared up, second session next week, and go from there. Great job, Shaker, and look forward to seeing you at a future national golf school.